Yeah.
The proximity of Africa, the unity of Africa coming together is removing those barriers. When I talk about trade, when I talk about education, when I talk about transfer of technology, when I look about trade imbalances, when I look about competitive advantage, because that's something Africa has not been talking about, something that we have dived into in our center. We've talked about different presidents and leadership in Africa and the Pan-African Congress. We've talked about Africa looking at where they have a competitive advantage, because the world globalization is not going to come to a halt. It's going to continue. Africa needs to find its place on the global stage and look at where they have competitive advantage and hang on it. Excuse me, and build on it. So proximity will help us look at Uganda. Excuse me. What is it that Uganda is bringing to the table that the whole of Africa can hinge on? What is it that Kenya is bringing to the table the whole of Africa can hinge on? What is it that Nigeria, that we seem to call the giant of Africa, what is it that is their strong point that the whole of Africa can hinge on? When we look at those competitive advantages that Africa brings to the table, and we now remove the barriers that will hinder those resources in Cameroon, in Kenya, in other countries that can be utilized to enhance Nigeria to be much more competitive on the international scene, that is when proximity becomes an advantage to us. But so far as we speak, we are living in our own little conclaves in Africa. Nigeria is doing its own thing, Cameroon is doing its own thing, Kenya, Uganda, and we do not have a common platform on which to act on the international scene. And it is hurting us, and hurting us very badly.